When it comes to fire manipulation, wind is not your friend. And while not essential, having a sheltered space to train is going to make your progression much smoother. Now, what makes a good training space is mostly common sense. As you'd expect, we need a good, solid, non-combustible floor. When we practice, we make mistakes, and that sometimes involves dropping our torches. They need to be falling onto a surface that isn't going to catch fire easily. Concrete flooring is ideal, but most hard, non-absorbent floors are going to be totally fine. However, floors like carpet, vinyl, foam tiles can present a fire hazard and should be avoided. Also, it'll come as no surprise that you need a high enough ceiling. Make sure flames can't come into close proximity of ceilings or ceiling tiles. A high ceiling is also going to give you more area to practice in, which will help significantly with the air quality in the space. And speaking of air quality, your space should have some sort of ventilation. The more the better. Doors and windows do an okay job of clearing out smoke and soot from the air, however you may need to take breaks to allow the space to air out properly. Smaller spaces should be monitored with carbon monoxide alarm and ideally an air and quality meter that is capable of detecting PM 2.5 particles. My best training spaces have only had 3 walls, a floor and a ceiling. Now these types of spaces offer enough protection from the elements on most days, but might struggle in strong wind, especially if it's blowing in the wrong direction. Now when it comes to the layout of your space, make sure you have different exits you can take in the event of an emergency. Also, place your dipping station away from the exits, as well as away from any vertical surfaces that could catch fire. Try and keep your space as simple and as uncluttered as possible and free of combustible items. This is going to remove many of the variables that could lead to an uncontrollable fire. So can you eat fire outdoors? Yes, you absolutely can, but the elements can make things very challenging. Working in the wind is fire manipulation on hard mode, and while it is possible, it's not ideal when you're first starting out. When it comes to eating fire outdoors safely, again, some common sense needs to be applied. Don't play with fire anywhere you wouldn't confidently start a campfire. And if you live in a hot country or there's been a dry spell, do the responsible thing and leave your torches at home. Now, if you don't have a space at home, you can often find suitable spaces within a reasonable distance. Just make sure you have permission and follow your local laws and legislation. Now, venue owners may be open to renting you training spaces, but make sure you go prepared to answer any questions or concerns that they might have. I've had multiple different training spaces, from studios, rented barns, and even some more unconventional spots where I've had to get a little bit creative. And putting in the time and effort into finding a good training space is going to pay dividends in the long run. So take that time to go out there and find one.